We're finally back with the AoG trials, where we will be checking out the bombers against a various mix of foes. So let's get into it. Alright, so here we are in game, and today we are going to continue with episode 19. Sorry for the little delay, but that is what it is. And now we are going to basically continue with testing the survivability of each of the designs. We're gonna begin with Adnikria's design, and we're going to test them all against a specific foe. Namely, the horror I had selected previously, and that's what we're gonna go with. Right, so first out is Adnikrias. I'm gonna start a timer here. So I'm having a little timer, and I'm gonna see for how long and how well they survive. The maximum point you can get is 5. This is a scale from 0. I guess it's 0 to... well, basically it's... yeah. You can get minus points on this one too, of course, if it's really, like, bad. But we've been surviving here pretty well for... how long? It's a good amount of time here. 41 seconds. And we're not much damaged at all. The horror costs 77,000, so it is a tad expensive. It has lasers, so it's a pretty nice little design here. Can be difficult. Lasers is one of the most competent weapons you can throw against an aircraft. So lasers is the greatest aircraft zapper. And we also, of course, have... what is it? Fire nowadays. So it should be able to start a fire onto it too. I'm wondering, though... are we launching missiles from this thing at all? Or is it just... well, it's dropping blocks consistently, isn't it? Indeed. Oh, it got decapitated! Oh my god! So here we are. And it has... kinda... it doesn't shoot back anymore. It has basically disabled the enemies. That's a really good. It ain't damaged. It still flies. It's still functional. Yeah. Surviving for almost 3 minutes, disabling the enemy. That's really good. I think it's gonna continue here. So basically, maybe it's a little bit unfair here, but of course, the first ship going up, first plane going up, always kind of sets the benchmark a little bit. So obviously, this is max points. This is 5 points. We survived this thing. We even disabled it. We survived for 3 minutes. That's great. Now it even dies. Fantastic. Next up, we have the absolutely stunning Manta War from Kobrax. So let us indeed spawn in the horror. And we shall see how it does. Look at it. Now this will probably catch fire since it is kinda flammable. Ooh. I believe that is some critical hits there. Ooh! Oh! Wow, okay. That's very quick and effective. Just want to make sure. Well, taking out the enemy is a really good way to survive, isn't it? And let's see. I'm not. Oh no. Oh, I spawned in, so I'm gonna make sure I didn't control anything, of course. All right. And even though it shoots on with its laser like this, these fires are just here to look cool. These are not actual fires. It's decorations. And you can see it doesn't cause much of a problem. Taking out the enemy is of course a great way of not getting shot at. If you can just alpha strike the enemy super hardcore, you don't need to worry about that. So Kobrax is also reaching a full point for full 5 points for survivability. Oh, now it's happening something here. Look at that. I feel we just have to check a little bit quickly here. It kind of died, but it also had 2 enemies. So it was aiming at the old enemy. And this is not testing survivability against several enemies. No, we're just testing survivability against a single horror here. Much more expensive ship, but it can really zap lasers here, so it can be quite dangerous indeed. Look at that, and now it killed it. Ah, look at that. It got EMP popped here. Yeah, so it can get hit by those little missiles here. I just want to make sure that the Adnekrias craft wasn't just lucky the first time around here. Because checking with the Manta War again, we can see that it depends too much on luck there. As you all know, I am coming back to full production here, so I kind of forgot that I tested them several times. I think I tested them 3 times before, but now I tested them only 1, and that's of course not quite right. So we're of course running we're running 2 rounds just to see that it's not a what's it called? That it's not just unlucky like that. Because here we can see that we seem to be performing pretty similarly here. This isn't getting very much touched. Those lasers seems to not hit the Adnekrias ship, Storihana. So Adnekrias remains with a 5-pointer, but Kobrax ship, the Manta War, it depends a little bit on luck if it gets hit by that first missile or not. So I think I want to run a 3rd run on that one to actually get a gauge on if it's a 3 or if it's a 4. Alright, so now we're back here again. It's trying to laser. And how will it perform? Will it hit this volley? Or will it get taken out? Oh no, here comes the EMP missile. And it falls dead. Yeah, so it depends so much on luck for the Manta War if it zaps it in the beginning or not. It can just kill the enemy instantly, and when it does that, that's a good job. You can see it's already despawned, but we're also down here, which is very impressive on some terms and a little bit lackluster on others. So it's gonna end up with a 3 in score. So pretty decent, but it has a serious EMP problem. Next up we have Jonas Isan 5 from StarMade. So we're gonna spawn the horror here and see how it does. And start the timer, of course. See how if it survives for long. It gets sapped here. It has pretty good health. I think this is the one challenge where the Isan actually has a decent chance of not getting especially bad points. It's not well armed, but it is decently armored. It has some thick alloy and metal there. It's just sitting there, so it's very easy for the horror to use those lasers. Kinda surprises me that those lock-on missiles don't hit very well, or doesn't shoot very often rather. Well, this is going a bit slow. Alright, so here we can see it's still sitting here. We're shooting at the Isan. It ain't dead yet. It has some decent armor, to be honest. So, yeah. It won't shoot back very much. But, yeah. Here we are. It's been 2 minutes now. Well, it still sits here. It has lost a lot of blocks by now, but it is in no way dead or anything. So it can take 3 minutes, but it's starting to really fall apart. So we're gonna do a little rerun here and see how well it fares. Here we have horror spawned some 2,000 meters away. We'll see how it does this time. It seems to have some trouble locking on those missiles here. Don't know. Or they already fired. Oh, there they are. I think. Well, it's just getting hammered standing around here. It doesn't do a very good job at taking out the horror here, which isn't what we're measuring, but it's slowly getting grinded down. It has some pretty good health, so the final score for the Isan 5 is indeed a 4. We shall be moving on to the next thing, which is Jono's real submission, the AoG bomber. So let's pop in a horror here and see how well it can survive getting laced like that. And also getting some EMP missiles potentially shot at it. Which can be some pretty dangerous business. It's diving down. Well, that's a pretty effective way to deal damage. Alright. It hasn't taken much damage either. Well, its evasive maneuvers really buys it time. From this distance, that laser is not much of a problem. It just doesn't hit very often. Well, it's doing a pretty good job. It's even closing in for its second bombing run. Now we're getting in range to get damaged. And there we could hit a pretty hard hitting shell, disabling the enemy. So by just disabling the enemy quickly like that, we can get a pretty good score. Let's do a rerun and see how it fares. Alright. So here we are, back at it. Oh. Seems like we lost a main propeller this time. Oh man. Very problematic. Yeah. That's just the first 30 seconds. So it did a great run the first one and a horrible run the second time around here. Well, I think I'll need a third look at it. Third look, here we go. Can it survive? Those propellers are pretty exposed. So it has a similar outlook like the Kovraks. If it's lucky to take out the enemy pretty well the first time around like that, it's a serious thing. But if it gets a little bit unlucky and gets shot by one of those EMP missiles possibly, or just something else, it just tends to kinda die a little bit. And here we can see we get missiles popping in. Oh, it survived that pretty well though. Now it seems they've gotten better at shooting. We're hitting a lot more often, while the damage at this distance isn't too much. We're losing blocks and something horrible can happen. Alright, detection is getting harmed a little bit. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so sometimes great results, sometimes not so great result. Only a few minutes. It's like Kovrak's design, barely a 3 here. I think we'll set the 3 on it because we had such impressive results the first time around there. Next up, we have the kinda sexy Eldrosh Kosh. So we're gonna see how well to survive this is. It's looking real promising with that heavy armor in the center here. I think this should definitely be able to survive 3 minutes by the looks. And I do think that it is a little bit too quick for those missiles to hit. Oh, we have a fire on the right wing. Oh no. The first seconds. Oh no. The wings started to burn. Oh no. That is a bummer. Indeed. We are kinda trying to fly around here, but we are clearly in a seriously damaged state. While we can do some damage to the enemy, yeah, we're just gonna fall down and die here. No, no, no. Not very successful. Let's try that again. Alright. We have the horror in the horizon, trying to snipe our friend, which is trying to go pretty quickly here. And the laser is trying to target it. Not too easy. Oh no. I wonder if we have a fire on the wings again there. Not sure how far away fires are rendered. Missiles are popping down here. Not very well. Didn't cause enough damage, I believe. Those missiles trying to rain down here. Well, it's been a minute now in this battle, so it's looking better, or is it? It seems to have lost control. Yeah, those lasers do cause too much damage, and the wings catch fire. Yeah, it doesn't die instantly, but yeah, it seems to not doing a too good job here. If we'll just repair this thing, you can see it's just instantly starting fires again, doesn't it? Well, well. To everyone's defense, of course, the game kind of added a lot of stuff, including fire and stuff like that, which wasn't even announced when the builders built on their projects. So they couldn't really dodge all this. But I think this design has serious flaws against lasers and it just catches fire. It doesn't do... It doesn't seem to have the potential to protect itself by taking out the enemy either. So it's not completely useless, it's not, but it dies a little bit too quickly. So I'm giving this 1 point in score. And we're gonna move on to Light of the Worlds build. Light of the Worlds star drop. Right here. Horror has been spawned 2,000 meters in front of it. Tries to use some decoys here. Using some pack to bomb the enemy there. We're having missiles. They're going for the decoy. Nice dodge. That is definitely going to save the star drop a lot of survivability here. Laser is still able to target it pretty well. And that's why I wanted to test them against the Horror. Because the Horror tests EMP's susceptibility. It tests laser defense, since laser is going to be the most normal weapon to use against planes, or most usual. Yeah, so if you're quick, you will be dodged at missiles anyways, and if you have problem with EMP, those EMP will get you, and those laser is the main weapon of the Horror, which is the most competent weapon to use against a bomber. The Light of the World has a pack bomber, and it has been surviving pretty well here the first minute. Not much is happening. Oh, are we gonna crash? No, we're just maneuvering. Very nice indeed. I'm wondering if something happened with the pack or whatever. I just hasn't seen the pack. Did the pack got like updated away or something? Huh. Oh no, there it is. The pack didn't get updated away. That is some confetti though. That's a lot of engine blocks, so we hit it right in the engine. Am I hearing the sounds of a fire? Oh, it got put out. Yeah, those decoys. Good job with them. Well, well, well. We're up to about 3 minutes. And the star drop has so far reached max points. We're going to rerun this little battle and see if we get any different results, or if we should give the star drop a 5. The battle has started again. We're gonna chill here a little bit with the Horror, trying to snipe it with its... is this Q1 lasers? I think this is Q1 lasers. Or Q2. I always do Q0, so I wouldn't know. Wow. Ooh. That's some confetti. Is that a proper decapitation? It is. That's a good job. A good job from the star drop there. Headshotting. Headshotting the Horror. Yeah. By headshotting the Horror, the first thing you do, those missiles ain't gonna hurt you, are they? Until it regenerated. So I do believe that that was a good shot that will ensure... oh no. I almost panicked. It got hit by EMP there. And it seems to be pretty safe from the EMP. Wow, that's so cool. Well, the star drop is definitely getting 5 out of 5. Pretty good job there. Pretty good job. So we're gonna be moving on to the next challenger. Or I mean, we're gonna move on to the next challenger next week, because this episode is already too long, and this is the perfect section to kinda end this video. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this thing, and I have one question for you. Does this look like a piece of ammunition, in case the green screen didn't block it out? I tried to make a piece of ammunition. I thought it was funny. I don't know if it is. Also, the green screen won't cooperate, so we're gonna look at that. But from what you saw, does it look like a piece of ammunition? Answer me in the comments. Yes. Oh, and I measured it. If this would be a real ammo shell, it would be exactly 67 millimeters. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyways, this is your host, Gmodism, and we are officially signing out. AoG Invictus.